I'm talking with Lina Kennedy, and we've been actually just finished doing a podcast for Weight Loss in the Mind, talking about one of her amazing products and how it helps with cramps. And I thought I would just ask her what she recommends or thinks about the pain that people that have fibromyalgia have. So, Lina, over to you.
Okay. Remember, I have a lot of stories. Well, here's another one. When I first moved to Austin, I started a group, a meetup group for fibromyalgia.
Oh,
And I quickly had 15 to 20 people at my home every Wednesday evening. I invited guest speakers, healers, therapists, declutter professionals. And because, I'm all about, you talk about the brain, brain, declutter your home, declutter your life. Breathe free is a big part. Otherwise, you're just like, pulled down.
yes.
And so I did do this, and I did do therapies. And here's my story. I can, God.
Now, I can assume that you started the group because you had fibromyalgia.
I was never diagnosed with it, like millions of others are never diagnosed with it, but I can sit with anyone who suffers fibromyalgia and describe the pains quite well.
Okay.
It'll be, if I say it, they're feeling it. If they say it, I know it, I'm feeling it. Although, I don't want to, mind over matter in this one for me is very important. So
Sure.
The pains are extreme. And when I did this support group, I knew a few people, and it was sad. You're right. It was sad every week because what happened after about 3 months of this, people were I'm trying to help them become dependent and stop. I brought all kinds of books that I would have like a library and that they would sign out and read them. I was trying to help them to become more independent and take baby steps to help themselves. And then they started becoming dependent on me. So here's what happened. I know this will work. I know this will work so well that there was a Dallas rheumatic specialist who was treating one of my colleagues in a group for fibromyalgia and gave her a prescription for her to have this treatment from me because it was helping her so much. But I was not a legal therapist. I was doing it just to help people. So this Hungarian mud that I get, along with the Injabolo, I'm telling you now, I don't know how we can do it. If we could do a big seminar and just invite everybody and show them how to do it, or a webinar or something. Because if they do this therapy that I learned from a top rheumatic specialist in Hungary, that they use, the point where they excavate their mud from is registered by the Ministry of Health as curative for everything. And anyone who suffers from fibromyalgia, you've got the myofascial pain, you've got different layers of pain, but you've also got muscular pain and skeletal pain. It seems to be it doesn't stop. It just vibrates through everything. This helps unbelievable. So if they do this treatment, this joint therapy treatment with the mud, but it's a special methodology. It's really better if you do it with somebody who's a little bit of a therapist and knows the physiology of the body, because high blood pressure is an issue and all these things. So I'm not pretending to be the therapist, but I can guarantee you that their pain will become so reduced that between this therapy for 30 days, every other day, for 30 minutes every other day, so that's 15 to 20 treatments, okay, will bring them to a level they never expected they could physically be again. And the Injabolo is just what they carry. If they feel a twitch, put it on. They can do this and use it as a preventative of getting back to that pain every year. If they need, maybe twice a year, but could be even once a year. But here's the thing, Scott. Here's my topper. This one client, I'll call her a meetup friend.
This one meetup friend.
She was coming to me, and we were on about our 7th treatment, and her husband would come with her, and he was a professional regatta racer. And he thought, oh my God, Lina, it's mind over matter. It's like a placebo effect, right? Until he had a regatta injury and he decided to try it. 2 treatments, he was clear. Nice. I have a testimonial. If you go to HungarianWellnessMud.com And look at all the testimonials we have there. You will be floored because they come from all walks of the world. So, but what happened is she was spry, feeling good, taking away her meds. She was on over 10 different meds. She was
Wow.
reducing and reducing. But what happened, here's why it's important that you have a doctor. I'm not a doctor. She was getting off meds for 15 years. She was fogged. Her brain was fogged with meds. She had no idea what her real life was like. As God is my witness, she woke up, if you will. She woke up and tried to commit suicide because she didn't realize her life was so terrible. Her husband was already doing whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
And so I was called to the hospital, and I don't know if it was accidental or what, but the problem is she fell asleep. I think she took too many pills, fell asleep on her arm, and her hand kind of blew up, because the pressure was cut off. So it was quite a situation. In that moment, I made the decision, I will teach other therapists. I won't help people anymore.
Right.
I will teach other therapists. So the story I told you the other time we spoke about the gentleman with the nerve damage in his face from
Yes.
a motorcycle. Well, over the last couple of years, he's had trouble. The accident's 10 years old, walking. He can't stand up for more than 10 minutes at a time. So that was the reason for him contacting me again. He used the Injablo for his nerve damage, but it wasn't doing enough for the damage of his discs. So I taught his wife, who's a registered nurse, to do the joint therapy of the mud I'm telling you about. Again, as God is my witness, 3 days, third treatment, 6 days later, third treatment, he calls me and says, what the is in this? I took my dog for a walk. I went to do the groceries. I've got energy like I was 25 years old. What is it? I don't know. All I can tell you is roll around in our dirt again. So he's doing it now. He's finished his 20 treatments, and that was about a month ago already, and he's still great.
Wonderful.
So I know. I have I am the world's best kept secrets on so many bloody levels because it costs so much money for marketing. But we got these things now like yours, like podcasts where
Yes.
people want more than just the marketing, the brain damage of marketing, and where you don't know what's real anymore.
Yep.
Telling you, Scott. So for fibromyalgia, I don't know, maybe a big webinar we can do together or something. Really?
Yeah.
Where I can show how to do the joint therapy, and then everybody can go get somebody who's, as long as they're at the very lowest level, a massage therapist that understands, to ask certain medical questions and check the blood pressure and things like that, because you got to be wrapped up. And this is very hot. It's like 42, 44 degrees Celsius, and it's a different kind of packing of the joints. It's really amazing. And I'm number 2 on the excavation of this region. The first, number 1, is the hospitals of Hungary, and I am number 2.
Wow. So there is a process to do this. You just don't take the mud and slap it on.
No. There has to be a process, and it really, I don't mind if somebody has enough mud, and I teach them the methodology for a couple of joints. But full joint therapy, which is what fibromites really need.
Yes.
Full joint therapy. Because we got to just travel everything through, and it's very important. Oh, it's so amazing. The people who know me know how much I wish I was a bazillionaire today, because I would open up centers that would be nonprofit, so that the people who can't afford it, we would have a reserve for them.
Right. Wonderful.
Oh my God, this is going to be so good for so many people.
It is. So you'll be able to come and you'll be able to ask all the questions that you want of Martin and myself and Lina. And Lina, hopefully you'll show us the mud and all that sort of good stuff. And then from there, if there's enough interest, what we can do is a webinar. But I think what we want to do is we want to get as many members understanding this whole thing as possible, and then having them say, okay, here's my therapist or here's my doctor, and see if we can't get the doctor and the therapist to come to the webinar and actually.
For now, they can order the Injablo, like the large tube of Injablo, just to put on. It will help. It's that the mud helps to get them to a point of not having pain for a period of time. Little twitches that the Injablo will work on. But even for now, if they do the Injablo, I promise you they will get relief.
Great. Can you send me a link to those two, and I'll put it on the video?
Yeah, I will.
Grayson.
Scott, thank you so much. You know, it's great.
And I'm gonna thank Seth when I see him next.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you know him personally?
I do. We've met a couple times, and he's interviewed me for his book, and I have him in one of my courses. Oh, just a sec. So thank you, everybody. Go to the Blab on Thursday, May 5th, and if it's after May 5th, you can still go there, see the replay, and we want to be able to introduce you to all these concepts in more detail, and then we're going to put on a full-on webinar, which will be teaching how to use all this mud and all this stuff if you're interested in doing that. So thank you, and we'll see you at the Blab.